Don't trust him. So again, to those of you, one person who looked at the live stream so far, we'll get started here in about 2 minutes. The rest of you too, but I'm looking at the red light, so it's fine. A note, again, to those of you in the audience who come every month, if anyone wants to take over this live stream business from me, so that I'm not trying to do that and this, that would be great. All you got to do is watch on your phone and make sure that we're still in the frame. I wasn't looking at him. He's not here every month. He's usually the one watching. Him and my brother and my sister-in-law, who are both members here. All right, 1 minute.
True.
Fifteen seconds. All right, here we go. Captain of the Color Guard, please advance and post the colors of our country.
Forward, march.
Hand salute.
Color guard. Halt. Right. Face. Pose. Colors. Present. Arm.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready? Two. Left. Right. Forward. March. Color guard. Halt. Forward. Arm.
Please uncover. I'm going to ask Stan to come down and give us an opening prayer.
Let's uncover. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to ask your blessings on this post. I know that in our preamble it says, starts off with God and country. And tonight, dear God, we're here to honor you and our veterans. So we ask your presence in this meeting tonight. Please bless our leaders of this very important legion. So help them to handle this business tonight. Bless them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Please recover. Please join me in reciting the American Legion preamble. Follow the bouncing ball. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for the following purposes: to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations in all wars, to inculcate a sense of individual obligation to the community, state, and nation, to combat the autocracy of both the classes and the masses, to make right the master of might, to promote peace and goodwill on earth, to safeguard and transmit to posterity the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, to consecrate and sanctify our comradeship by our devotion to mutual helpfulness. Please be seated. I now declare American Legion Post 233, Department of Georgia, regularly convened. Post Adjutant, do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir. We have.
All right. Now the Post Adjutant will provide a brief reading of last minute's meetings.
I gave you a lot of reading material tonight, so hopefully everyone's looked it over. Draw your attention to section 3, number 5 there, all the people we've helped. We always want to point that out because that's one of our big strong points, is helping people. You have 4 attachments there as far as reports go, including the financial report. And that should cover it. Any questions, comments, corrections?
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as published and read.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Last chance, any corrections? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'd like to recognize the past commanders who are present tonight. Stan Malton, thank you for being here, sir, and Bill Dolan. Thank you for being here, sir. Do any visitors tonight? Any visitors? That's folks who haven't joined but really should. All right. New members. I know we have some new members tonight. Let's start right off the top. Elvis Cole. Where are you, sir? All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Matt Stark, retired in Louisville. I live here in Louisville. Did a tour in Iraq. Just retired.
All right, welcome. Russell Vokes, why don't you stand and tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Rusty Vokes. I live here in Monroe, grew up the street. I've been there for 15 years. Went in the Army in 1969, regular Army, served in Vietnam. Got in 1971 and retired here.
All right, well, welcome. Are there any Space Force veterans here tonight? Any? Still waiting. Okay. So this is where I normally would do two things. I would normally tell you about all the great things that our Legionnaires are doing. They're still doing them. And I hope we'll cover a little of that later. And I would tell you what all the homeless veterans that we're helping. I'm not going to do that this time. Instead, I'm going to offer you this following thing. Everybody knows what today is. Everybody knows what's coming up this weekend. As a young NCO at Dover Air Force Base, I had an opportunity to attend the 436 Wing Commander's morning briefing. For you Army guys, a wing is roughly equivalent to a brigade or a regiment. The rest of you are on your own. A wing contains all the functions you need to operate a single base and execute the missions from that base. Dover Air Force Base is not a large base by any measure, but she houses and maintains 25% of America's strategic airlift capacity, and also the East Coast Mortuary for the United States Armed Services. It's an important place. I remember being escorted into the briefing room that morning and shown to my seat along the conference table. The wing commander came in. He was a bird colonel on his way to Brigadier General, and he greeted me by name and a handful of other guests. Each group or squadron commander took their turns updating the wing commander on the status of wing assets, from our buildings to the aerospace ground equipment to personnel and the aircraft on our ramp, abroad, and even in the air at that moment. The final briefing was a security briefing, and it was a threat assessment to wing assets worldwide. I remember being impressed with the breadth of the assessment. I'd been through security training like everyone else, but it was the first time I was exposed to real-time intelligence of bad actors who might threaten or cause interruption to our mission readiness. All in all, the briefing was an eye-opening experience, and looking back, I kind of figured that's why they send young NCOs to those things. And I left that meeting and went back to the squadron more serious than I'd ever been and feeling more connected to our mission than I ever had. And it was a feeling I carried with me to the Persian Gulf and all my time overseas. Time and tide never rest, though, and honestly, after I separated from the Air Force and I separated from the reserves, I'd pretty much forgotten about that briefing until the morning in September about 20 years ago. I was driving into Atlanta for a meeting with my new CDC client. It was the first work we were doing with CDC. And they broke in over the traffic report and said that an airplane had hit one of the World Trade Center towers. Having just been there and seen the World Trade Center towers, I knew what they were talking about, and I was taken aback. And it was upsetting, but the details at first were light. And it wasn't the first time that a plane had hit a New York skyscraper, and it wasn't the most current threat that I'd heard of. I was pulling into the parking lot, and I was about to turn off my car when they announced that a second plane had hit. And suddenly I was back in that briefing room. The notion of bad actors plotting against us came back to me. One plane might be an accident. 2 planes was an attack. It was not the first attack in my memory on the World Trade Center, and it certainly wasn't the most recent attack on America. And I'm not sure who I immediately suspected, whether it was folks like Sheikh Omar Rahman, who orchestrated the first bombing of the World Trade Center, or people like Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, who bombed the Oklahoma City building. Inside the CDC building, my meeting went on as planned, until a hysterical admin assistant broke in through the door and told us the White House had been hit. This, of course, was a mistake. It was the Pentagon that took the blow, and the White House was spared, largely because of the actions of the brave passengers of Flight 93. I still think about Todd Beamer and his "let's roll" every time I sit my ass down on an airplane. They kicked me out of the building, really. I was a non-government employee in a government facility, and our government was under attack, and they asked us all to leave. Having nowhere else to go, I spent the rest of the day with my business partner, sitting in TGI Fridays at the bar right up there by the Sonesta, watching people jump to their deaths from the stricken towers. I remember talking in great length about how we would explain this to our kids when we were still trying to process it ourselves. This coming week, I hope that each of you will take time to pause and remember 9/11 and the ways in which it changed us as individuals and as a country. The days that followed those attacks were as surreal for me as they were for any American. I lived on the flight path of Hartsfield-Jackson, and suddenly the sky was quiet. And for an old Air Force guy, that means a lot. The American flag I already flew on my front stoop was joined by dozens more up and down the street. And it became clear this was not domestic, this was foreign terrorism. Names like Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda came to the forefront of my thinking, and terrorism had moved out of the occasional news item and into the mainstream of American consciousness. I tried to get the Air Force to take me back. Actually, I begged them to take me back. In several phone calls to recruiters and even to the CBPO at Dobbins, I acknowledged that I was a little too old and a lot too fat for their standards, but that promised I could lose the weight and I could still fix heavy airlift avionics if called upon. And they patted me on my pudgy, balding head and said, "Thanks for reaching out." But I was not alone in wanting to serve. That day in September 2001, inspired a generation of Americans to sign up for a global war on terrorism. Those folks signed up in those days are beginning to retire right now. And that makes me feel especially old standing here tonight. Anybody here who joined the service after 9/11, please stand up. Okay, we won't applaud them. Cool, but they're out there and we have lots of members who are that way. I believe that our history will show us that this generation of veterans has been deployed more often and longer than any generation of American warrior before them. Like many of the generations before them, they sacrificed in far fields to keep the conflict over there. I'm not going to get into my personal feelings about how our inevitable exit from Afghanistan was handled. For that, you'll have to buy me a beer on a day I'm not the duty officer, and it will all have to be off the record. I will say that in my own way, I recognize what they must be feeling, even at a much lower key. I remember when we shut down the machinery after the Persian Gulf War in 1991 and 1992 and left the theater, and Saddam Hussein was still in Iraq. It felt like work left undone. It sucked then. It sucks even more now. Much like our Vietnam veteran brethren remember those final helicopters lifting out of Saigon, and many of us this week will remember people jumping from impossibly high floors on the stricken towers, images of desperate Afghanis clinging to C-17 landing gear for as long as they could, will resonate with many of us for the rest of our lives. Regardless of the war, conflict, or even the mission parameters, it's a terrible feeling to give it your all and see some of your friends and comrades give the full measure and then watch something that looks and feels like defeat play out in front of you. I will say that, again, that this generation of veterans has given it their all for a very long time and repeatedly in a way that is uncommon in many of our memories. There's a photo in our Patriots Lounge, Patriots Grill, of Corporal Jonathan Ayers. I had a hand in creating the scholarship that our post gives out every year in his honor. I've come to consider his father one of my dear friends. Our nation spent that young man in the Valley of Wanat. In my office, in front of my computer, I keep a small photo of Specialist Etienne Murphy. You're welcome to go look and see if I'm telling the truth. His smiling face, as before he died in Syria in service to our country, and that of Jonathan remind me what we've offered as a country for security as a nation. In a few weeks, Mr. Robert Stokely will be in this very hall to announce, ma'am. What? No, it's fine. She went and got my picture of Etienne. In a few weeks, Mr. Robert Stokely will be in this very hall to announce that the stretch of Highway 81 South, named for his son Michael, will be renamed to honor both Michael and Master Sergeant Mark Allen, who was critically injured searching for Bo Bargdahl. Robert Stokely petitioned the Georgia legislature to make this change in honor of Mark Allen. It is a beautiful gesture and one that I'm proud that our post is participating in. I recently gave an interview to Morris Diggs of Fox 5, and some of you reached out and said you saw that. It was just the same night that we found out we lost 13 Marines in Kabul. I told Mr. Diggs that evening it was not time for anger. It was not time for politics because there were Marine families grieving, and at that moment there were still other Marine families holding their breath to see if that number was going to hold. I'm angry now. So my friends, what do we do with our anger, with our anguish? We remember the mission statement and founding principle of our friends at the Vietnam Veterans of America. Never again will one generation of veterans abandon another. That was made because they noted that some of the World War II set did not understand the feelings of our Vietnam vets when they came home and maybe did not reach out as much as they should have. What we're going to do as a post, as a people, is we're going to reach out to these kids who gave us so much, only to feel that our nation gave back so much of what they fought to win. We need to listen to them. We need to clap them on the back. We need to buy them a drink and welcome them home again and again, just like we sent them abroad. This generation deserves our praise, our commitment, and our loyalty as Legionnaires. Like everyone in this room, those folks know that orders and direction are not their decision, but that sacrifice and honor belong to all those who serve, regardless of the vagaries of politics, foreign or domestic. Moving on. Let me figure out where I am, hang on. All right, post news and newsletter. If you are not getting the updates I'm sending out via email, I wish I could tell you they were weekly. Sometimes they're bi-weekly or even tri-weekly. If you're not getting those in your email, please reach out and let us know. For you new guys, we got your email address tonight. You'll get added. The next one will come to you. District news. Unbelievably, I got a kudos yesterday from our district commander because we are the first post in our district to go over 50% for membership this year. I would like to credit the folks on the Vector team and the people that participated last year in the, what was it called? See, I'm not alone. Buddy check. Yeah, it was a combined senior moment up here. I think that those efforts where we called everybody and now that Susie and her team are mailing everybody, I think that those efforts have contributed to the fact that we are over 50% in membership, which is a first for us. We've never been at 50% this early. Department news. I have absolutely nothing to tell you from the department, which is odd. And so I reached out to our district commander today because I have not gotten a single email from department since July 19th. And after 2 minutes of talking to our district commander, I'm no clearer on that problem than I was before. But I will hunt that down, I promise, and next time we'll catch up with department news. Legion National News, National Convention just finished. There'll be more news on this next month. I know we have folks who were there. I'll gather that. But I do want to say that our auxiliary came away with some major awards, including National Outstanding VA&R Unit, which is impressive. That means that out of all the units in the nation, they were number one in Veterans Assistance and Rehabilitation. And they're not here, but let's give them a round of applause. All right, and that's enough for me for a while. Let's get the finance officer to come up and do the finance report. Mr. Seiler.
Okay, we're still doing well. Your finance report is on the table in the back if you haven't received it. For those who are watching and not seen it yet, we are really doing quite well. Our current bank account as of today shows the following amounts. Checking account has $35,046.46. Our savings account has $41,610.89 for a total of $76,657.35. And this is really, really good for us. We really don't know what to anticipate with those that we are supporting. I have, as you will see, our amount that we paid to WITSEN last month. We're doing it on a quarterly basis. It's was over $17,000, and that's a fairly substantial amount. So what we're doing is we are making sure that we've got the amounts of money in reserve in anticipation of any kind of, I guess, hardship that our veterans and their families will incur in the next months to come. With the political climate that we're in, which always has an impact on everybody's finances, we want to remain like that. Our line of credit is free and clear. We have $75,000 in our line of credit with nothing due. So we've looked at this grooving on the green thing, and I brought this to your attention on our report. The last month that we did it, we had just a little over $300 that I deposited in the account, and that includes all the tips and donations that are made. It really makes a difference in how much we're actually going to be able to place any kind of emphasis on that for income. Our payroll expenses are just a little elevated this month. Duke had some hardships with his health, and so we have reached out and we trained and looking to train some others to take his place in the event that this happens again. It's a chronic problem. Our kitchen remains actually in the black, as we say in the finance world, primarily due to the smart shopping of Nina and some other folks, and also with not having very much in the way of returned food. So that means the quality is good. I would invite you to take the P&L and look at it. I know that in a meeting it's really difficult to do that. And if you have any questions about any particular period of our finances, you're perfectly welcome to ask me, and I will do whatever I can to clear up your questions. I do have the detailed P&L up here at the front. It's printed out, so if you need to ask me a question about what's going on in a specific area, I'm able to do that. But your post is in good condition, and that's due to the hard work and good stewardship of your officers and of you. This is your money. And you need to ask questions if you have them. That we want to be completely transparent and above board with all that we do. So, congratulations on this month, and we'll see how we go in the next few months. And that's my report, Commander.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to accept the finance report as read pending audit. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any questions? All right. All in favor of accepting the finance report as read pending audit, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to committee reports. Post operations and membership, Mr. Accord.
Again, a big thanks to Susie and her Vector team for reaching out to get people to get their attention to renew, etc. We're doing a great job, as Tom said. Any of those that haven't renewed that are out there, please see me or do it online or whatever it takes. But we have 260 actual renewals, 14 new members, which is exciting, and 21 paid up for life for a total of 295. So keep up the good work, and thanks everybody for what you do.
All right, Legion Riders, Mr. Leeper, come on down.
All right, Legion Riders for the month of September, or for the month of August. We had 53 members on rolls, 42 members were Legion Riders, 9 members are auxiliary, 2 members are sons, and there are currently 16 members here tonight. Our finance report is, as of September 3rd, the checking balance is $40,507. Our Jonathan Ayers Scholarship account is $13,680. Last month, we voted to donate $200 to the Legacy Scholarship Fund, and we also donated $1,500 to the 100 Miles for Hope, which supports the VNCF, which is the Veterans and Children's Foundation. Income from that foundation's investments is used to fund the Veterans Affairs and rehabilitation programs, such as training to accredited American Legion service officers, and fund temporary financial assistance, another American Legion initiative, which provides grants to American Legion active duty or American Legion members with minor children at home. There was a challenge put out nationwide, and post 233, if you go online and look at the Kilter app, it looks like we came in second for what it is. Americanism, last month we had 6 riders. They did a total of 6,063 miles and 104 hours for Americanism. We donated a shed to Milledgeville I told you about last month. We got that delivered. I went down yesterday and got some pictures of it. If anyone wants to see pictures of it, I have them. We have a dedication plaque on order. And on the 21st of August, the riders went down to Gary Lemon's gravesite in Social Circle, and we replaced a worn flag that we have hanging there. Gary's granddaughter, Jessica, 18 riders, and 5 guests were in attendance. And then after the ceremony, went over, had lunch at Hot Rods. That's my report.
Thank you. Can you just turn around for me? Stand still for a minute. I want everybody to look at his t-shirt for a minute. That image is of DJ Scotty, complete with the mohawk, which I think he's teasing me because I can't pull that off. For those of you that don't know, DJ Scotty has been a fixture around these parts for a while. He participates in a lot of our Ride for America ceremonies and other things, and he has been in the hospital very, very sick with COVID. It looks as though he might be turning the corner. I've been tracking along with his wife and others, but if you could add a little extra prayer for DJ Scotty, we'd appreciate it. Thank you, sir. He doesn't actually look like that, by the way. The mohawk is accurate. The rest of it is not. All right, so now it's back to me for a minute. Public information, I want to apologize to the entire membership. I stood up here last month and told you I was buying a new house, and it turns out I did 2 mortgages in the last month, and I did buy a new house, and so your sign is still dark out there. Mike has asked me a couple of times about when we're going to get together and try to fix that, and the answer is still this coming week. And so hopefully we'll get that taken care of. I know Julie is worried about it because it makes us look like we're closed out there. Oratorical, it's that time again. I'll be reaching out to schools starting this month or next because we need to get folks in the pipeline for oratorical. The young man who has been representing us for 3 years has aged out, and so we need to find a new champion. All right, Sons of the American Legion, Commander Dolan.
Thank you, Commander. At the August meeting, we presented 24 backpacks to the auxiliary as part of their back-to-school drive that they were working on. We had no new memberships during August, so our total remains at 16 renewals. We're currently at 41% of our 2022 membership goal, 39 members. The proposed changes to the squadron constitution and bylaws have been distributed to the membership for review. They were discussed at tonight's meeting, and we will vote on them at the October meeting. They'll then be forwarded to the detachment for review and approval. Financial report ending August the 31st. Our bank balance at the beginning of the month was $1,475.90. We made a whole whopping 6 cents in interest, so the ending balance was $1,475.96. Our next SAL membership meeting will be October the 5th from 7:10 to 7:45 during the dinner hour. If you would, grab your dinner and then meet us over here and, participate, please, because we need your opinion. We need your help. So if you're not a member of the Sons of the American Legion and you're eligible to be one, please come talk to me. I can certainly explain to you why it would be to everybody's benefit for you to join us. And that will do it for us. That's my report, Commander.
Thank you, Commander. Blood Drive and Color Guard, Mr. Mahaffey.
We had our last blood drive on August the 19th, and we had 9 members showed up to give blood. We ended up with 38 units, which was exceeded our goal. And since we started having blood drives here at this post, 3/15/2005, we've had 56 drives with 2,630 units donated. So with a possibility of 3 lives saved for every donation, that could equal to 7,890 lives that was helped to save during what we've done here at this post. And on the color guard, we've had 2 veterans funerals this past month with folded flags and blue towels. And several members in our color guard is up in their 80s, like me. And we need young members like 70s and 60s. So you young guys. So if you can, please join us. And we have a lot of fun and we have a lot to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you happen to be in your 50s or even in your 40s, they'll still take you, just so we're clear. They're that desperate. Maintenance, Buildings, and Grounds, Mr. Burwell.
Okay. If anybody's been to the office, you'll notice that that nasty Berber carpet is gone. We were fortunate enough we had, the same stuff that we took off of this floor, but we put a moisture barrier under that one, so we're hoping that holds together. But that way we got rid of the carpet. That I was that was quite an embarrassment if somebody come in to sit in the office and talk to someone about joining or whatever, so it's a good thing it's gone. We have an issue of a little leak in the, out in the pavilion in the men's room. That urinal just keeps running. And unless Bobby Moss was able to talk to us, we have no idea where the water shutoff is for that building. So what's taking place, we got a plumber, the one who ran our hot water from the kitchen out there over to the restroom, so we had hot water. At that time, they also ran an additional line to cover cold water in case we ever had an underground breakage of the existing one. So that's supposed to be taken care of on the 14th, I think, that he had to order a part for the urinal. But we're also going to get a price from him to just go ahead and cap off that one coming in from underground and hook up the cold water one that they have in there, and that way we can shut off the pavilion, all the pavilion water inside that first room. That's my report.
All right. So what Mike wasn't clear on, just so we're clear, we did put down the stuff we took up here, but we did that because we had a whole flatbed full of it down in the train building. And so by reusing that, we got this done for a song, really. We got it done really cheap, which is important right now. Special events. In the interest of time, I'm just going to run through this unless Stan has something specific. There will be no bike night this month. Participation has been very low. We will still be open Friday night, but the post isn't going to outlay any money. We lost money the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months on meat because the cost of meat is so high. And so we're not interested in anything that's a break even. Anniversary dinner will be 11/5 this year. It seems early, but that is the Friday prior to November 11th. And so it will be 11/5 for the anniversary dinner. The Veterans Day ceremony, the city's Veterans Day ceremony will be here in this hall on 11/11 at 11 a.m. And we have several members who are participating, so please plan to be there. And then the craft fair, the winter craft fair, where you can buy cool stuff for your sweetie that people make, is on 12/4, right here in the main hall. Look for more information about those as we go, but those are the upcoming events. Did you have anything else?
Nothing other than we've got a great speaker coming to that day. He is a member of the Georgia War Veterans Hall of Fame, and look forward to hearing from him. And like you said, a lot of people from our post. We also have another person that's coming outside of the county, but still in the state of Georgia to speak also. So we have some good things coming about, and the mayor's really happy to work with us on this. And again, this is the city's event, and we use our post to honor our veterans. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. So for those of you who didn't hear that, because we didn't come up to the mic, which is fine, we have some terrific guest speakers lined up for the Veterans Day ceremony, including someone who's a member of the Georgia War Veterans Hall of Fame. And so if you're available, please come out. And we will try to live stream that event, same as we have done in the last year. I did hear from our service officer, Mike Madsen. They had 19 contacts in July, or in August rather, 19. That's a lot. Brian Blair, I hope everybody saw the email. Brian Blair has moved and has resigned, and so right now Mike is kind of flying solo. I know he's got some people he's training, but if you're interested and you have some time and are willing to help others navigate sometimes what is a ponderous VA system, please reach out and let Mike know. We can try to offer some training. Vector, Susie?
Okay, the system's working pretty well right now. Julie has been very helpful wherever you are. She was over there. Anyway, I've had 44 responses. She's had 20. Some of the others who are helping me have not been that successful, but based on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing back from, I've had a couple conversations with Mike Madsen already, since he and I kind of work along the same, it seems like we're working along the same path sometimes, where people, I ask how they're doing in these cards, and I get a text back or I get a call back and say, well, I don't know if you can help me, but this is what I have going on. So if I don't know, what the answer is, I call Mike or email Mike, and Mike tells me what to do. And so he and I are going to work a little bit further along together, because there's people coming out with needs, and that's what this system is for. So I encourage you, if you've gotten my card, or, if you can think of anything that you need or know of anybody that's in need, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here. That's what I'm here for. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find it for you. So in my estimation, we're going to continue doing this. We're up to the Persian Gulf people, so that's our thrust. And then hopefully from there's a lot more that are coming down the pike that I think could stand with talking. So again, I encourage you, if you are looking for something to do, I'm always looking for people to help. But if not, I think the system's working pretty well. So thank you.
So for the two new guys who haven't been here, Vector is Veterans Connection Outreach. And basically it's a continual outreach to our members to see what their needs are, see how we can help them. It's a thing we used to do once a year, and we decided we liked it so much, and Susie came on board and was looking for that kind of activity. And so now we're just doing it on a continual basis. All right, Paul Williams told me that there were no changes since last month. Scouts, Matt Clifton. Come on, Marine, let's go.
It's a long walk.
It is a long walk. You should sit close to the front if you're going to talk.
All right, for a scouting report, we have Cub Scouts. We had a roundup recently. It was a great effort. Went really well. We have 24 new youth. Hello, Mike. Can we hear now?
Oh, is it on? No.
It's not. I'll yell. How about that?
You want to come up here? Come up here.
I will get better if you do that. If I can find one.
Well, now I feel like Tom put me in the hot seat. Cub Scouts, we had a roundup. It was a valiant effort. It went really well. We had 24 youth and 8 adults sign up for Cub Scouts. I appreciate everybody who put out the word. Like I said, it was a good turnout. Really happy with that. Parent orientation is tomorrow night. That's September 8th at 6 p.m. Anybody if you're interested, we'll still take any on-comers. Back to Pack is this coming Monday the 9th at 6 p.m. That's our get back together, start of the school year, start of the Pack meetings, getting everything started up. Boys Troop 535 are participating in the service project at Rivers Alive this weekend. They're going to be doing a clean the park exercise, some biking, represent 9/11 and honor the fallen on that day. Girls Troop 5535, they're working on earning their ranks and preparing for fall family camping. And just remember to the post, we have 3 Marines and 2 Air Force Eagle Scouts from our troop. Their parents are proud, but they're worried. Please keep them in your prayers, and thank you for your support.
It's a good reminder of why we support these youth programs. They're not the only program here that have turned out service members, and we appreciate all the work from everybody. Lieutenant Smith, I don't see her tonight for the Sea Cadets. I do want to mention, especially for Jim in the back, Sergeant Kelly Mason, who has been the assistant director down there for some time, has moved to Arkansas, of all places, and taken those cute kids with her. But I want to note here her contribution to the Post. It's working, Fritz. Her contribution to the Post and our Sea Cadet program over the years. It's a tremendous program, and we'll miss Kelly a lot. Civil Air Patrol, Captain Stribling or his delegate? Here we go. Come on, Julie.
We had all 4 of our current active members as cadets participating in the SAREX last weekend, search and rescue exercise. They were able to complete all of their requirements for Ground Team 3, which is the basic ground team requirement for Civil Air Patrol. We also had a hit in our COVID levels, which have reduced us down to phase 1, which means that we can still meet because we've got less than 10 kids. But our membership has to maintain its current level, which is poor, to operate in person. So at this point, like I said, we're in phase 1. They're still meeting down there, but again, social distancing of less than 10.
Thank you. All right. Anything from legislative other than pay attention? Pay close attention because it's important. All right, so VA Volunteer Services, VAVS, John Spudik. John called me today to tell me that he reached out and they're still not accepting any donations, and so that's a thing that we'll have to contend with as we go forward. Historian, Mr. Lindgren.
Commander Tom, I have a very short report tonight. My current activity is to work with American Legion Riders and prepare an updated history.
Can you step up to the mic?
Oh, sure. My current activity is to work with the American Legion Riders and prepare an update history for them.
Thank you, sir. Any other committee reports? Anyone that I missed? Anyone? Okay. All right. Old business. Is there any old business? Nothing? New business. Is there any new business tonight? God, I love it when there's no new business. There we go. Thanks.
Just a question.
Yes.
Are we doing anything for Carmona?
So the officers of that's a great question. For those of you that aren't aware, former Commander Jim Carmona recently lost his wife Bee, who many of us knew here for many years. In addition to being the commander's wife, she also is very active in the auxiliary and worked bingo for us. We sent to him flowers at the funeral, and we got a very nice thank you card back from him. So the post was represented in that. Is there something else you would like to do? Okay. All right. Any other new business from the floor? Anything for the good of the order? Hearing none, I have something. I want to commend again those of you who have given to the gift cards for veterans program. And I will note, as I noted several months ago, that the profits from these machines now we're turning around not these machines, but the ones in the grill, the pool table, the jukebox and all that, we're turning around into that program as well as the gifts we get. A member walked up to me tonight and handed me a card, as he does every other month. Every one of those cards is important. Every time I have a homeless veteran standing in front of me and I have an opportunity to give them something given not by the post, but by a member of our post or a member of our community, it's a good thing. And it saved us a lot of money as a post over time, and it allows us to provide that extra little bit of support. Anything else for the good of the order? All right, hearing none. Our next meeting will be October 5th, 2021. We will eat again at 7 p.m. If somebody wants something other than chicken, let me know. We'll see what we can figure out. I'm happy to do something else, but that's easy and quick. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn? Well, that was really slow. Let me try that one more time. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Here we go. Captain of the Color Guard.
The flag of our country should remain in its place of service. Right hand salute. 2.
Please uncover. Stan, standing in for our chaplain, please come down and give us another closing prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight thanking you for all your blessings that you have bestowed on us during this meeting. Such good things are happening at this post, and we know it's through your blessings. We also ask that you lend your healing and helping hand to every one of the people that needs you in this time of crisis with our veterans that are coming home and going through a time of sorrow. But we also ask that you be with these people that are fighting this COVID off. Please be with us on that. Please be with the people that need that healing and helping hand. Again, we thank you for our many blessings tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Stan. Please recover. By the power vested in me by, well, y'all, I now declare this meeting of American Legion Post 233, the American Legion Department of Georgia, adjourned. Goodbye on the live stream. We'll see you next